Hey everyone, welcome to another lesson on IELTS. Today's lesson will be on reading, and we'll talk about one of the type of the questions in reading, which is table completion. So if you're ready, let's begin. First off, a general information about table completion. What kind of question is that, table completion? So in this task, you'll be provided with an incomplete table which summarizes or paraphrases information given in the reading text. The information in the table form may be organized differently from the way in which it appears in the text. For example, chronologically instead of in order of importance. The task is to complete the gaps in 3 words or fewer. So there's always a word limit for these type of questions, and the main goal of these kind of questions is to test your ability to look for specific information in the text or to understand the gist and paraphrase. So this is a sample test of table completion. The questions in table completions either go vertically like this, so it starts from question 9 and ends at question 13, right? So the questions, the order of questions either go vertically like this or horizontally. So sometimes it goes vertically, sometimes horizontally. How to approach table completion tasks. Step 1. Read the instructions carefully. Note that in the sample task you may use your own words if you wish, based on the information in the reading text. In other cases, you will be instructed to use the words from the reading text only. Note also that here you may write only 3 words or fewer. Step number 2. Look at the table and especially any headings. Decide which is the most useful way to read the table, vertically or horizontally. Glance at the other information given in the table to get an idea of what information you'll be searching for when you read. Step number 3. Guess what part of speech in each gap, noun, verbs, adjectives, and decide kinds of information, for example, noun of job or activities and so on. Look for words and phrases in the passage which mean the same as words and phrases in the table. They are synonyms. In other words, we can name them as synonyms, right? For example, well-known is the synonym of famous, or plenty of has the same meaning as a lot of. Step number 4. Skim the text for the appropriate paragraph or section. To skim the text means to read the passage to get the whole meaning of the passage. Step number 5. Read that section more carefully and decide on the best word or words to fill the gap. Remember that you will need to use the appropriate form of any verbs. So this is a pre-reading task. We're going to do the reading in the following pages, but this one is a pre-reading task. Let's take a look at it. Work in pairs. We're not going to work in pairs. You're going to read a passage about cities around the world. Before you read, decide if these are good or bad aspects of cities. Write G for good or B for bad. Let's check it. So the first one, friendly inhabitants. Friendly inhabitants are the good side of the city, right? That's why it's been marked as good. Fast public transport is also a good side. By the way, I've highlighted it already. So this is good side. Crowded streets. Crowded streets are the bad side of the city. A high crime rate is also a bad side. People in a hurry is a bad side as well. A relaxed lifestyle is a good side of the city. So this is the text here, and we will find some questions after this reading text. Now let's move on and check the questions first. So it says these are the questions. Read the passage on page 9 quickly. Which 4 cities are mentioned? Which is the friendliest? So before we try to find the answers to these questions, let's take a look at this. This is a scanning exercise. What is scanning? So let's understand scanning first. Scanning is moving your eyes quickly over the passage to locate a particular word or phrase that you may then need to read around more carefully. So if we pay attention to these questions, question number 1, it is asking us to find 4 cities from the text. Now we can do this scanning activity to find 4 cities in the text. We don't have to read the whole text. We just scan. We just roll over our eyes to find 4 cities. And next we will try to find the friendliest among those cities, among those 4 cities. Alright, so let's go back and find those 4 cities first, and then we'll find the friendliest one. Alright, this is the text. Team of psychologists from California. California is mentioned here, but it doesn't have any relation to 4 cities. Next we have Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, and capital of Malawi, Lilongwe. Next city here is Rio here again. Amsterdam and New York. Any more cities? No, no more cities. Now let's try to find the friendliest city here. To find the friendliest city, we will just check the parts where the cities are mentioned. For example, Rio de Janeiro. Is there anything about the friendliness here? In this part, there's nothing about friendliness. How about Lilongwe? Lilongwe, there's nothing about friendliness as well. Rio is mentioned here again. Now let's check this whole passage, whole sentence here. The study concludes that people are more helpful in cities with a more relaxed way of life, such as Rio. So here is a keyword, right? A more helpful people there in Rio. While they were there, researchers received help in 93% of cases, and the percentage in Lilongwe was only a little lower. So in Lilongwe it was a little lower, but they got help in 93% of cases. So let's check other cities as well, just to make sure about the correct answer. However, richer cities such as Amsterdam and New York are considered the least friendly. So these are the least friendly cities. So obviously the answer here is Rio, because there are more helpful people there, and researchers also got help in 93% of cases while they were there. So this is how you scan the text and try to find the answer. Now let's move on. So let's check our answers here. Answers there. So as we found earlier, the cities are Rio de Janeiro, Lilongwe, Amsterdam, and New York, and the friendliest city among them is Rio de Janeiro. Right, now let's take a look at this text, our main text for today. It was about the world's friendly cities here. This is our actual table completion question right here. You can see it. So let's try to deal with this type of question. First off, we check the rubrics. First, it's about cities. So three cities were mentioned here: Rio de Janeiro, Amsterdam, and New York here. Next, in this column is about positive aspects of Rio de Janeiro and Amsterdam. Next column is about negative aspects, and last one, percentage of help received. Now, if we look at here, we can see some words in italics here. Inhabitants, friendly inhabitants. Let's try to find the word that has the same meaning as inhabitants from the text. So it's about friendly inhabitants. This is a positive aspect of Rio de Janeiro, friendly inhabitants. So Rio was mentioned here. Now let's take a look at this sentence before Rio de Janeiro. The results show that cities where people have less money and generally have friendlier populations. So friendlier populations here was mentioned. Friendlier populations actually means friendlier inhabitants, right? Inhabitants is replacing the word populations here. Next, the more. So the question actually in this table completion goes horizontally. This question number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, now this part, question number 1, more lifestyle. So let's try to find the word lifestyle from the text. So it's still about Rio. There's nothing about here about lifestyle. They carried out strangers. Study concludes somewhere as such of. Here is Rio as well, and here the word way of life mentioned. So way of life means a lifestyle, right? It is the same meaning. It has the same meaning as lifestyle. So here the word more also mentioned. More relaxed way of life. So here we can obviously see the answer is more relaxed. But I'll reveal the answers in the end. Let's check other parts as well. People don't have so much. So this is question number 2. This is still about people in Rio. People don't have so much something. All right, let's try to find the synonym of this word. So Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, which is known for its crime count on top. They carried out a study. Cities. The study concluded people are more helpful in cities with a more relaxed way of life, such as Rio. So, by the way, let's take a look at this part. Actually, there's something here. Results show that cities where people have less money generally have friendlier population. So here it means less money, right? And it can basically replace this part of the question. Don't have so much. It means they have less something. So it means the answer is money. So next, has a reputation for something. Has reputation. Let's try to find the part where reputation was mentioned. Right here. Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, which is often known for has the same meaning as has a reputation for. Known for its crime. So the word crime is the answer here actually. Number 4 is about Amsterdam and New York, and this part is asking have little something. So Amsterdam and New York were mentioned here, right? Are considered the least friendly. Inhabitants of Amsterdam help researchers in 53% of cases. In New York, just 44%. Psychologists found out that in these cities, people tend to be short of time. Short of means they have little time, right? So the answer is time here. Next, don't pay attention to. Don't pay attention to something. Let's try keep reading here. So they hurry and often ignore strangers. To ignore somebody means to not pay attention to somebody. So they ignore strangers here. So the answer is strangers. Alright, so now these are the words, the answers. You can check them here. First one was relaxed, next one was money, crime, strangers. Number 4 is time. Alright everyone, this is the end of our today's lesson. I hope it was useful for you. In the next lessons we will try to deal with more type of questions. So see you next time. Bye.